Okay, so today we're going to be playing on Kerbal space program. We've got a nice capsule here now, and a heat shield to protect us from entering the atmosphere after we've got into orbit, and a little decoupler so that we can decouple from the other stages. You'll see it in a bit, so yeah. And we've also got some parachutes on here to slow down, because it's a parachute. You know what parachutes do. Anyway, so this is a nice maneuverability stage. We can move around in this stage when we're in orbit. That's going to be very useful, so that we can actually be in orbit and get out of it, hopefully. Foreshadowing. Anyway, so we're building a first stage here now as well, so that's just going to be nice, because it means that we can get up nice and high. Otherwise, how are we going to get into orbit if we're not high up? Can't just be at orbit just zooming past everyone, smashing through the houses. Got to be high up to be in orbit. Got to be in space. Anyway, we've got some nice solid rocket fuel boosters. That's handy. And we've done. So, yeah. Just finish up the staging so that everything fires at the right time. And let's just get to the launching. After we put on these cones, of course, otherwise it wouldn't work, like aerodynamics and stuff. Okay, so now we're going to be actually launching our rocket. We have fired the solid rocket boosters and the liquid fuel engine, and now we're tilting over, but maybe a bit too fast, so I'm gonna have to quickly cancel out all of that speed, because otherwise we'll just crash into the ground. Okay, so we're flying quite smoothly now, just zooming along at like 300 meters per second, quite fast really. That's like about 600 kilometers per hour for reference, so we're going quite fast, and we're spinning now, so that's not great. But I've just managed to actually cancel out all of that rolling with a few other controls. There's a lot of controls in rocketry, so no matter what happens, there's generally something that you can do to fix it. And now we're travelling at hypersonic speeds, and we decouple our solid rocket boosters, but they do explode a little, so we're not going to get our money back on that, sadly, but it's okay. We still have our liquid fuel engine, just happily zooming us along, and we're nearly at orbital speed just from our liquid fuel engine, but it's now run out, so we'll have to go to our second stage, which will help us get into orbit now. So we're just going to time warp to apoapsis, which is from what I can remember, like the highest point in your orbit, and we're there now. So it's the best place to do orbital burns and stuff. So we do that. Now we have a nice circular orbit, and we'll try and get back down to the surface without exploding. May not work, but it's what we'll try to do. So you can see it is a nice stable orbit, and now we're going to try and lower our periapsis by burning at apoapsis. It's just kind of what you gotta do, you know. But it's not a very low apoapsis, so it's still out of the atmosphere, so I won't actually be able to land, which is quite a problem. And you can see me warping past the planet many times, and we're just not in the atmosphere, so we won't be able to land. I'm trying to decouple here just to see if I can get a little bit closer to the planet, but it doesn't work because decouplers aren't actually that strong. So I'm just increasing the gravity here, so it's just going to pull us back to the ground, but as a like a bad thing for increasing the gravity, it increases the speed by quite a lot, and yeah, we go straight through the planet and explode. Not an entirely successful mission, but it's okay in some ways. Not many. We're 4,000 meters under the ground, and very not alive. I guess I'll have to try this again later. Anyway, that's just about the end of the video, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed. We managed to get into orbit, but sadly we didn't manage to get back, so that's interesting. Anyway, can you please subscribe and leave a like if you would so like to, because this is now the end of the video. How cool.